Hey Cancer, what's poppin', baby? It's Sam from CancerMoonsTarot, and I'm coming at you guys with your August 2022 tarot reading. How are you guys? I hope you guys are well, and without further ado, we're going to jump on into this, and we'll see what we got going on, baby, for your August 2022. What do we got showing up here for Cancer, please? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus throughout the month of August 2022. I'm hearing the word avoidance. I feel like for many of you guys, there is something in specific you're avoiding. Could be like a diet type of thing for a few of you guys. You might be avoiding fast food. You could be avoiding cigarettes, alcohol, anything that you feel like you have wanted to cut out for a while but haven't had the courage to do so. Coming into the month of August here, you're definitely feeling a lot more encouraged to do it. I do like this energy as well because, of course, now as we transitioned out of Cancer season, moving into Leo season, Leo is that energy of courageous energy. So I do feel like many of you guys here, if you have felt like it was very difficult to cut out bad habits or to cut out things in general that you knew were not necessarily serving you, probably coming into this month you'll feel like you're in a lot more of a courageous attitude. And with that being said, it's more easier to cut out the harder things. So anything as like a bad habit, like smoking, maybe you're trying to cut out eating fast food or food that you know isn't really beneficial or nutritious. Maybe it's about even removing yourself from certain people who you know are toxic. At the end of the day, no matter how toxic certain people can be, we can have the ability to love people despite how toxic they are, and it can be incredibly hard sometimes to detach from those individuals whom are toxic too. So for any Cancerians here that have found it a struggle to detach from something that you knew was not serving you in your highest good, this may be the month where you see yourself really going through with that detachment, which is overall really good news, okay? So either way though, without further ado, let's go ahead and begin. Having a look here at the first card out, and what do we got? And we got here the Empress. Growth, baby. Love that for you. Empress card, the card of growth, the card of forward movement, the card of expansion. Of course, though, with the Empress here as well, it could represent things such as nurturing. So going back to that vibe that we just talked about, this is about nurturing yourself, removing yourself from toxins and bad habits, and making sure that you're putting yourself in a position for health, okay? So many of you guys here could be implementing a lot more healthy things into your daily routine, your daily regimens. Empress card could represent the fact that maybe you just had a baby. If so, congratulations. This could be the energy of starting a family. You might be a brand new mother. If that's the case, congratulations, guys. Wishing you all the best, all right? Now, moving on to the next card that we have here present, we also have here the High Priestess, card of intuition. And then looking at the last two overall energies for your August ahead, we have here the Four of Cups, and we have here the Four of Pentacles. So, let's go ahead and talk about this one, Cancer. Coming into your month of August 2022 so far, the Empress, the High Priestess, the Four of Pentacles, the Four of Cups. Now, as I've already mentioned with the Empress card, this is the card of growth, this is the card of expansion, and it's also the card of nurturing. I think that on an intuitive level here with the High Priestess, you are getting that feeling, getting that intuitive nudge that it is time to let certain things go. You're recognizing that your body, your mind, your spirit is calling for you to either ascend and rise above certain things or to completely detach and move forward. Now, Cancerian, this could be the energy of like, man, for some reason, whenever I drink alcohol now, I just feel sick. I don't know what it is. When I used to drink alcohol, it was totally fine, but now I'll have one beer and I feel like I have a headache. I'll have one beer and I feel horrible. This is that energy here, Cancerian, of your body and your intuition communicating with you that maybe it's time to let something pass or to let something go. So I do see that coming into your month here ahead, you're going to notice those little intuitive messages, those little intuitive nudges that are trying to push you in a different direction. For example, if something doesn't feel good like it once did, maybe you're being called to let go of it, such as the alcohol thing, right? You had one beer, you had a sip, you're like, I don't feel so good. Maybe that's kind of your guides telling you to take a step back from participating in alcohol. Whatever it may be though, right? It doesn't have to be things along the lines of just alcohol, it could be anything. So, now with the Four of Pentacles here showing up to the Four of Cups, what I do feel here for you as well is like it's going back to the fact of something you've been holding on to. Because Four of Pentacles is the energy of what we've held on to, what we've refused to let go of. And Four of Cups is the energy of ignoring that. So I think that you've had this intuitive call for a while, Cancer, that something here should be let go of. You've had this intuitive nudge to let something go in general, but I think you've been tuning it out, you've been ignoring it, and you've still been holding on to it as long as you can. So tell me why Cancer's been holding on to something, even if they've been getting that nudge to let go. Tell me about the Four of Pentacles. Why is Cancerian still been holding on? And we have here the Three of Cups. Because part of whatever it is that you have here, Cancer, makes you happy. There's definitely some perks and some ups here to whatever it is you got going on that you're not letting go of. I mean, for example, if it's a relationship that could be toxic at times, I'm sure there's still good times. There's still things about the relationship that are positive. So despite the fact that it might have some kinks where it's not so good and where it's not so great, there are still great memories you can pull from this relationship. If we're talking about habits, right? Of course, going out and partying with your friends, it's a fun and awesome time. There's a lot of things that can create awesome memories. But maybe the way that it affects your body is one of those negative outcomes. So you could be getting called to let go of it because of the way it's impacting your body, but maybe it's difficult to because of all the emotional memories you've made. So with this being said here, Cancer, there are definitely pros, there are definitely cons. And your intuition here this month is showing you the cons of whatever it is you've been holding on to. And that's why your intuitive and your higher self or your spirit guides or the universe or whatever you want to call it is calling on you to let go of something here. But it's so hard to do so when you have had happy memories from whatever this is. You have had good times. So that's why it's very hard to let go. Because there's also some good in whatever this is you got. All right, Cancer, let's go ahead and have a look here at your surroundings. What's going to be going on here in Cancerian surroundings, please, throughout the month of August 2022. Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. What do we got going on here, please, in the surroundings for the zodiac signs of Cancer throughout August 2022? First card out, we got here the Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands, definitely the card of new beginnings, the card of opening up to something new. Moving on to the next card for you, we do got here the Seven of Swords. And then having a look here at the last two cards for you, Cancerian, we also have here the Six of Cups, and we got here the Chariot. So taking a look here so far, everything feels kind of new. And it's almost making you wonder, like, is there something wrong with me? And there's nothing wrong with you, Cancer, okay? You are not feeling like the same person you used to be. Six of Cups, you're not feeling like the Cancer of the past. You are a brand new Cancer. This is the energy where you're noticing that you're changing. The certain things that you used to love, maybe you're not loving so much anymore. The certain things that used to make you feel good, maybe they're not making you feel good anymore. The certain people you used to be around, maybe they're not making you as happy as they used to. And I think that you're caught up in this energy where you're saying to yourself, well, in my past, these things were great for me. Why are they not great for me anymore? What's wrong with me? What did I do wrong? Why am I changing? And I think that you're getting really wrapped up in your head here with the Seven of Swords to the point where you're recognizing that the changes you're experiencing aren't inherently negative, but instead they're changes of growth and positive growth. Things that are changing around you, Cancer, are all for your highest good, and it's all to push you in a better direction. And you're kind of looking at it as, well, I'm not the person I used to be. I don't resonate with the stuff I used to resonate with. What the heck is going on with me? You seem to be looking at this in a negative light rather than looking at this as an experience of growth. And you may even feel like other people are judging you at this time too, coming into the month of August. For example, if you don't really feel connected to a certain person anymore and you feel more detached from them than ever and you feel like you want to break up with somebody or you want to walk away from somebody, you might feel like they're judging you because they're like, oh, Cancer, remember how we used to be, remember how the past used to be. But at the end of the day, we are changing every single second of every single day. And just because our past was one way doesn't mean that our present moment and future has to remain the same exact way. And I think that that's a massive reminder here to have coming into your month of August. So Ace of Wands here to the Seven of Swords, you're looking at your change and your growth and you're wondering, am I the odd one? Am I the weird one? Is what I'm doing wrong? You have all these feelings of your growth, but you're not looking at it in a positive way. And with the Chariot here to the Six of Cups, you could see yourself changing. You're not the same person you were yesterday, but you just can't put your finger on it on whether or not if it's a good thing or if it's a bad thing. Cancer, change is never wrong. Change is inevitable. We can't stop it. We're always going to change. Just because we like something today don't mean we're going to like it tomorrow. Just because something used to feel great doesn't mean it's going to feel great tomorrow. That is the beauty of change, because things are constantly evolving. So we also have to remember too that whatever serves us only serves us at the certain energetic point of being or energetic state of being we're at. What I mean by this, Cancer, is, for example, if we're in a very low vibration and we're around somebody who tends to lift us up and who tends to lift our spirits, at the time of you being in a lower vibration, that person made you feel good because they would help you feel better. Now, let's say your vibration changes and you're automatically now in a very high vibration. You know, the way that person used to make you feel might not feel the same because no longer are they lifting you up, but instead they're adding to the experience. So with all this being said here, Cancerian, you're really starting to wonder here. I'm changing as a person, and it sucks that I'm changing. I don't really connect with the things I used to connect with. I feel like I'm the odd person out now, and I feel like this is an overall bad experience. I wish I could still be the same old Cancerian with the same old stuff, living the same old life, because this change is making me feel like I'm furthermore isolated from the life I used to live. Now, the thing about cancers, or at least in my personal experience of being a Cancer, is that I'm usually pretty hesitant to change sometimes. Change is something that's weird for me because it makes me get out of my comfort zone. But what I learned over time is that getting out of your comfort zone just means that you're about to embark on new journeys, new beginnings, and you're going to meet new people and have new experiences that you'll inevitably end up resonating with. So Cancer, even if you feel like you're watching your old life completely disappear coming into the month of August, your new life is just about to begin and you don't even see it yet. So I would say try to change your perspective and your perception here. Don't look at all these changes as something inherently negative. Look at it as beautiful new journeys getting ready to welcome you to your new life, because that's exactly what's going on here for you. Okay? All right, Cancer, let's go ahead and have a look here at some of your personal feelings for your month ahead. How are my Cancerians going to be feeling personally coming up throughout August 2022? Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. How are my Cancer peeps going to be feeling personally? First card out, we do got here the Two of Swords. Moving on to the next card for you, we also got here the Queen of Cups. We got here the Six of Pentacles. And then looking at the last card for you, Cancer, is going to be the Emperor. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Well, taking a look at some of your personal feelings here, Cancer. Two of Swords, Six of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, and the Emperor card. Now, with the Two of Swords here to the Six of Pentacles, you know, this is the energy of like, well, I want to be on the same page, meaning that you want to be on a plane of resonation with the life you're living. But that's pretty difficult, right? When the life you're living is no longer in resonance with you. You know, for example, you want to be able to enjoy the relationship you once enjoyed, but maybe you and this person just don't click anymore. You want to be able to love the person that you care about, but you can't help yourself but see all the toxic things about the relationship that both of you share. You want to continue to enjoy going out and partying with your friends, but the repercussions of partying is starting to really get to you. You know, it just doesn't feel the same, Cancer, and it doesn't feel the same for a reason. And it's not to hurt you, it's not to bring you down, but instead it's to show you that your energy is no longer in resonance with that and you're meant for something better. So I think that you're really trying everything you can here, Cancer, to get back to normal here with the Six of Pentacles, but ultimately you're not going to, because you're creating and stepping into your new normal, you know? And with the Queen of Cups here to the Emperor card, on an emotional level, it's like you're trying to keep yourself in a good energy. You're trying to keep yourself from, you know, feeling upset about this, and you're doing your best to just stay the same old person that you once were. But no matter how much you try to control these changes, you will be fighting against the tide here, Cancer. It will feel incredibly difficult to be able to go back to this old life when you are ascending forward. All right? All right, Cancer. So I definitely feel a lot of resistance here for you guys with these changes that you are going through. You know, for some of you Cancerians too, whether or not this is about bad habits or about a relationship in your life, it could even be about your work, you know? Maybe you once felt very passionate for the job that you had, and maybe coming into this month you're realizing that there's a lot of flaws in the job you do. Maybe you're starting to see a lot of negative things and a lot of negative repercussions that come from the work that you do. And you're like, man, despite the fact of how much I loved this job in my past, I can't help but notice now that I just don't feel the same way. And it sucks because I don't want to change careers. That's a lot of work. That's stressful. But if you're being called to something new, answer that call, Cancer, because the universe is calling you, you know? All right, guys, let's go ahead and see what you can expect going forward throughout the rest of your August. Well, we do have here the Justice card. So I really do love that for you, because the Justice card here is balance, okay? But it's also about getting what is right and what is just for you. So I do feel here that the universe is trying to remind you, Cancer, we got your back. I promise you. No matter what way you feel right now, you will eventually see why things happen the way that they did, why you are where you are, and everything's going to be okay. So the universe is trying to grant you some reassurance here. All right, but let's go ahead and see what you can expect going forward, please, throughout the rest of your August 2022. What can my Cancerians expect going forward here throughout the rest of their August, please? Taking a look here at the first card out, we got here the Queen of Wands. Hello. I definitely think you guys are going to get to a place where you become very empowered and you feel very empowered, which makes me happy. So overall, you're going from a place where you're feeling pretty negative about these changes, but I think you're going to end up embracing them the closer it comes to the end of the month. We do have here the World card. Cool. So that's about allowing cycles to end as new cycles begin. And looking at the last two cards, we got here the Eight of Wands and we got here the Ten of Wands. So Cancer, what you can expect going forward here. We got here the Queen of Wands, the World card, the Eight of Wands, the Ten of Wands. As I mentioned previously, Queen of Wands here, World card here, coming more so towards the end of the month, Cancer. I think you guys are going to really start to embrace these changes a lot more. In the beginning of the month, you're like, man, I just want to be who I used to be. I don't want to feel this way. I don't know why everything's changing. It sucks. You're going to feel a little crappy about it. But I think that the more as time goes on, the more you're going to realize it's time for me to just embrace this new journey. And that's exactly what's happening here. Now, with the Eight of Wands to the Ten of Wands, this is where things get a little interesting because Eight of Wands is the card of transformation. It's the card here of merging your energy into something new. And with the Ten of Wands showing up, the Ten of Wands can talk about the energy of feeling incredibly burdened. It can talk about feeling like you're taking on so much at once. So there is this potential at the end of the month for you to feel incredibly drained. And the only way, Cancer, that you're going to be feeling incredibly drained and burnt out at the end of the month is the more that you fight the tide, the more you will feel that way. What do I mean by this, Cancer? Well, the more that you fight the changes that are trying to work their way through into your life, the more you're going to feel drained. The more you're going to feel burnt out, the more you're going to feel resistance. So what I will say is that at the end of the day, these changes are going to happen for you. Things that you used to resonate with are not in your resonance anymore. And there isn't anything you can do about that. You cannot change the way that you feel. And in regards to what you're being called to, it's up to you on whether or not you want to answer the call. You can delay going to your new beginnings as long as you'd like to, but the truth is that your feelings on your own personal level are changing about things you once cared about. And if you guys continue to fight that, you're going to continue to feel worse at this time. So I would say that my best advice would be to let go and to embrace all the changes that come through. Sometimes we really have to listen to what our intuition is telling us, what our body's telling us, what our soul's telling us, what our brain is telling us, because all these things that is communicating to us within ourselves, our deeper knowing, our deeper selves, our higher selves, whatever you want to call it, the more we listen to that, the more we're going to be intuitively guided to where we're supposed to step to next. So guys, I'm trying to avoid y'all from feeling stuck, essentially, jumping into the month of August. The more you keep fighting this change that's coming in for you and trying to be the old Cancer you used to be, the more stuck you're going to feel. So I do think for many of you that coming into the end of August, you're going to start to embrace more and more of these changes coming up. But for the Cancers who don't, you will feel very, very drained, very overwhelmed, and very burnt out. And that's the last place I personally would like to see you guys because I always want to see y'all win. Okay? All right, Cancer, let's go ahead and take a look here at the overall outcome now for your month ahead. What is going to be the overall outcome here, please, for the zodiac signs of Cancer? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus throughout the month of August 2022. What is going to be the overall outcome here for Team Cancerian? And what do we got? And we got here the Five of Pentacles, and we also have here the Judgment card. Yeah, just take a chance on it, Cancer. That is all that your spirit guides in the universe is asking for. Five of Pentacles, that is the card, right, of letting go, but it's also the card as well of things being absent from your life. Five of Pentacles is the left out in the cold type of energy. Cancer, you might feel that by your life changing, you feel like you don't have your identity anymore. You feel like you don't align with who you were because you're becoming a brand new person. And it's a weird feeling, it's an awkward feeling, it's an awkward transition, but as long as you guys give this energy a chance and you give these changes a chance, I think you'll be surprised at what comes next, guys. All right? So Cancer, what I would say here for you is to trust your gut and trust your discernment. Of course, I would ask that you guys trust me, right? But it's always up to you guys to do what you feel is best and to do what your discernment is telling you, not what the dang tarot cards are telling you, At the end of the day, take tarot with a grain of salt, but if it resonates and it helps in a certain way, take whatever advice you feel would work out for you and work out in your best interests. As far as what I'm seeing for you guys, the only issues you can run in here into the month of August would be the issues of fighting against the tide. If your feelings are inevitably changing, you can't change how you feel how you feel. If somebody you used to love being around is suddenly really toxic for you and you can't help but not see them as anything but toxic, you can't change the way you feel. You're just starting to see the truth. You know, for Cancers that are noticing that bad habits are catching up and they're just not feeling good anymore and they're not resonating with you anymore, maybe that's your body finally saying, Cancer, it's time to turn around and cut these bad habits out, because we're really starting to see how they're not so good for us. You know, as you're seeing all these changes happening, you wish you can go back to the old Cancer you were, but you're ascending and these changes are happening for the better. And I can assure you of that. And even though right now it may seem like your new path is unclear, whatever new path you do set foot on, it's going to be one that benefits you, because the universe wants to remind you here with the Justice card that the universe is setting you up for success and setting you up for a life that is just and right and works within your favor. Okay? All right, Cancerian. Thank you guys for tuning in, man. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoy this month of August ahead. Try not to fight the tide. Just go with the flow, and you're going to see things really work out for you quite well. Okay? Much love to you, Cancer. Thank you for being here. If you're new, do consider subscribing. And with that being said, much love, guys, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.